Cockroaches. They don't die easily. They outlive everything. They adapt. They multiply. Welcome to the Cockroach Party. During a hearing in May 2026, Chief Justice of India's Supreme Court referred to Indian youth as cockroaches, dismissible, disposable, something you step on and forget. This caused outrage across the country with Indian youths, and rightly so. How would you like to be called a cockroach? But for one man, he couldn't let it go. A man by the name of Abhijit Dipke was still angry in the days after and decided to take to social media to post a simple message. Little did Abhijit know, this simple tweet would travel around India faster than diarrhea. Seeing the reach and response, he set up a website and social media page and called it the Cockroach Janta Party, or CJP for short. But the Instagram of this new CJP, it exploded and it went to 20 million Instagram followers in the space of 2 weeks, double what the BJP had. This was all sparked by the Chief Justice comment of the youth being cockroaches. But the CJP, they soon turned their attention to someone else. That man was the Education Minister, Dharmendra Pradhan. And they turned their attention on him because of the exam leaks. Now, if you're not sure what's been happening in India over the last few years, let me explain. In 2026, India's National Eligibility Entrance Test, NEET, the single gateway exam that over 2 million students sit every year hoping to become doctors, was leaked again. This is the third leak in 5 years. The third leak in 5 years. Add that to a run of cancelled tests, technical failures, and according to opposition figures, over 150 separate paper leaks, which have impacted millions and millions of students across India. But on July the 20th, as the Indian Parliament opened its monsoon session, thousands of students tried to march from Janta toward Parliament Street. Delhi police met them with batons and tear gas. By the state's own count, not the protesters, the state's, 180 people were injured. 180 people injured just at a protest. So the CJP made it very simple with their demands. The resignation of Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, the overhaul of the National Testing Agency, drop charges against peaceful protesters, and compensation, 10 million rupees, over $100,000 for the families of more than 20 students who have taken their own lives following the exam cancellation. Think about that. Over 20 people have taken their lives. 20 people have died over this. Not because of hunger or famine or disease, because of exam leaks. 20 people are no longer on this earth. Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International have condemned the police and said there was an excessive use of force. Mobile internet was suspended all around the protest area. But here's the part that should alarm anyone. This week, 2 of India's highest courts had the chance to review all the footage that's getting spread around India. Everyone, millions of people are watching this footage of the Delhi police and the police around India that are being very forceful at these protests. They had a chance to watch it just like the rest of the nation. But they refused to. 2 petitions, 2 courts, both declined a fast-track hearing. One bench said it didn't want to be dragged into every protest. The Chief Justice himself said he didn't have time to watch it. He didn't have time to watch it, that's what he said. Bear in mind, people are dying over this. He said he didn't have time to watch it. But I can't help think we've seen this movie before over the last few years. Sri Lanka 2022, the Aragalaya, an economic collapse turned into a leaderless, youth-driven occupation that stormed the presidential palace and forced Gotabaya Rajapaksa to flee the country. In Bangladesh 2024, a protest over government job quotas exploded, a national uprising with violent state crackdowns. The killings didn't end the movement, they fueled it. Sheikh Hasina was gone within weeks. We had the same in Kenya, in Nepal, in Indonesia. Different countries, different flashpoints, but it's the same generation. Gen Z. It's them who are rising up. Memes before manifestos, Instagram before ideology. We live in a world where a joke curdles into a movement because an entire generation recognises its own reflection in it. So when the Cockroach Janta party takes to the streets of Delhi, the global instinct is to reach for the same headline. Is this India's Hasina moment? Is this India's Ollie moment? But to be honest with you, I really don't think it is. I personally don't think it is, and I'll tell you why. Here's the pest control problem in Delhi that nobody wants to admit. You can't fumigate an idea. Bangladesh and Nepal, they fell quick because, let's be honest, there wasn't much holding them up. India wouldn't fall fast. There's 1.5 billion people, a federal system, courts, elections, a lot of scaffolding. But that's not a reason to look away, that's a reason to look in. Toppling a weak government is easy. History's done it several times this decade alone. Forcing a 3-term government with a parliamentary majority to bend, that's the real task. That's the one that tells you if a democracy still works. But when you look at all this, you're looking at it and you're thinking, I don't think the Indian government understand the fact that the teenagers of India, the people that are getting tear gassed in the streets, that's their voters. That's their voters that they're tear gassing. The government promised them jobs and clear governs. This isn't the opposition running the streets angry. It's their own voters, the people that voted them into power. Governments can outlast protesters, but they can't outlast their own voters. So when a movement this size hits India, hundreds of millions of young people, online, angry citizens, bigger than most other countries, it doesn't just shake Delhi, it rewrites what dissent actually looks like in a democracy too big to collapse and too exposed to ignore. This is a stress test, and I think the Cockroach Party have actually done a pretty good job. I think people around the world have been watching this. I've been sent messages of people that I didn't really know were into South Asian sort of videos or like geopolitics, and they're saying, have you seen this Cockroach Party? So they're getting about, they're getting out there, and the world is now watching. So how did the state respond once the heat got real? Wangchuck broke his 26-day fast with 2 ministers there personally to hand him water. That's not hospitality, that's a government building itself an off-ramp. And sure, Modi followed with an Instagram video, not a podium, promising fast-track courts. But the CJP's answer, that wasn't good enough. Fast-track courts aren't the fix, they said. Pradhan's incompetence is. And the founder of all of this, Abhijit Dipke, he put it even sharper. Delhi can shut down 16 metro stations, but can't find the will to shut down one minister's career. And this is where it gets interesting, because at the time of making this video, he hadn't resigned. He was still in power. But just this morning, he's now out, he's resigned. So that's the Cockroach Party 1, the Indian government 0. So change can happen. Cockroaches don't die easy. You can spray them, stomp them, insult them from the highest court in the land, but they're still there in the morning, adapting. India didn't create this anger, it inherited it from an exam system that lies to its own students, an economy that can't absorb its own graduates, and 2 courts that had the option to watch the videos and didn't bother. The Chief Justice meant Cockroach to end the argument, but a generation just started one. The real question wasn't if this government was going to fall, it's whether the government that survives is willing to change for Gen Z. It's all very interesting, guys, it's all very interesting. If you do like South Asian sort of geopolitics, stories, history, then why not hit the subscribe button and maybe even the bell. And I'll catch you on the next one.